what you gonna inspire others to do?
That's a fact.
I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? People are walking inspiration.
Yeah, let's talk that shit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you take criticism because you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I love you this week and next week they won't love you no more.
Welcome to Busamove, the podcast, man. Harlem's first mobile podcast where you ain't gotta come to us. We gonna bring this motherfucker straight to you.
Right.
But if you could come to us, man, because we don't want to miss our parking spot, man. It's hard to find parking in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? So, without further ado, you know, I always feel like everybody is special when they come here. First of all, shout out to Bobcat. He's not here right now. My boy is out for this episode, but
Bobcat,
we love you, Bob. You know I'm gonna hold it down. Sis gonna hold it down always.
we love you and the family, Bob.
Word up, Bob. You know, Bob got his own thing going on right now, so because of certain situations, my guy ain't here, but he always here in spirit. You feel what I'm saying? So, Busamove, the podcast, is happy to have these two special in the building. I feel like everybody is special. I always say it. It's like my trademark because it's the truth. Everybody's fucking special when they come here, yo. And we wouldn't be Harlem's first mobile fucking podcast without having the motherfucking Motion Boyz in the motherfucking building. You heard what I said? Yeah. You know, normally we'll put on a little 1 or 2. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Bob, I'm holding it down. I'm learning, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what the fuck is the motherfucking deal, yo?
Goody, man.
Damn, long time.
I know, y'all, right? Yo, so first of all, I'm happy to have both of y'all, be. Just, if y'all don't know who the fuck is in the motherfucking building, be, y'all gonna learn today.
They gonna learn today. The boys, we here.
Yo, I got G-Dot in the building, motherfucking Y'all be loud. Now, Y'all, I've been trying to get y'all on here for a minute. First of all, you on time. I love how the fuck you get down.
That's a fact.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. I love how you get down. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take my shit off the table because they ain't giving me nothing for that.
Right.
No, you can put your drink up there.
Oh, I can put that there?
Get your drink, baby.
Right,
Long as it wasn't nobody's bottle. Because we ain't got time to be playing with these peeps, you heard? Oh, sidebar. This is a 420 friendly podcast, man. It's always 420 somewhere, you heard?
I'm here.
We gonna blow it down every time on Busamove the podcast. So I've been trying to get y'all on here for a little second. I ain't gonna hold you. It wasn't really hard because y'all ran down on me like, what's good?
That's how you do it.
What's good?
I got one of the hottest artists in Harlem.
Come on.
And in the world. So,
Yeah.
like, why not get on a joint? I seen you doing a lot of joints with a lot of people. Shout out to all the people you interviewed so far.
Yeah, shout outs to all the interviewers. You
doing your thing.
Thank you. I
Definitely,
appreciate
definitely.
that, man. We trying, man, to represent
100%.
Harlem. We had to be the first to do something, man. We the first ones in Harlem to have a mobile podcast.
Nice.
And
Innovation.
thank you. And not for nothing, man. Y'all know it's only right for y'all to have to been up in the building.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
How we gonna be Harlem first mobile podcast and don't have y'all in here? Y'all don't put me in Harlem.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying to you? Like y'all been messing with me. We see each other every week. So I was at the basketball game. I'm like, yo, you got time this time? He like, nah, that ain't gonna work to you. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna work for us.
Definitely was trying to figure it out.
We've been trying to figure it out for a little second, but here we are. I'm so excited. I'm so mad my boy Bob is not here right now.
Yeah,
but
shout out to Bob.
yeah, shout out to
Bobcat,
fucking
man.
Bobcat, my fucking brother, yo. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna start this motherfucker off right. Cause I'm gonna roll my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right, get right.
Yeah, I ain't get my
That's
shit
right.
right,
You
B.
gotta get it
What the fuck been going on with y'all, man? What's been happening, man?
Just in motion, man. Just in motion, man. Getting to it. Got a lot of things in motion.
Y'all ain't
You
called the
know,
Motion Boyz for
That's a
nothing.
fact. That's a whole fact.
For nothing.
That's a fact. But we just been moving and grooving. So when Black sent that text through, all he said was, yo, the 23rd, 6 o'clock, lit.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, it's finally confirmed. So,
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just been looking forward to coming up here, kicking it with y'all.
I'm so happy to have you, yo. This is like, I'm just smiling because we done talked in the middle of the boulevard. Like, we really in Harlem, y'all. Like, we really outside. I don't know if y'all really realize that.
Now we outside and we on the top block right
yeah,
now.
yo.
21st and
Yo,
7th.
21 Jump Street, as they call it.
Right here on the
21 Jump Street, man. We low.
You wanna know one thing I like? She was like, yo, where you wanna do it at? You wanna pull up on my van or we pull up on y'all? I had to hit Dot and make sure it was right for him. And he said, yo, you know what? Tell him pull up on the Dot block. And now we here.
Here we are.
On the
You know what I'm
corner.
saying?
Back in the days, we used to call this shit 21 Jump Street.
That's a fact. 21 Jump.
So, what's been going on though? Like as far as music wise and shit. Like what's been happening with you?
Music wise, music always been bumping and all that, you know what I mean? But right now we kind of running like the triangle offense. So we got the, the clothes pushing with the films, you know what I mean? So solely it's just, normally I just see the music.
Right.
But now we kind of pushing out like, because we got the brand Paw Parade. So we doing the film,
lit.
the mini commercials for those, the soundtrack by the music and film by 1302 Films. And that's all three of our
Y'all
companies.
been fucking busy.
We've been busy.
Y'all been busy, man.
So that's what's basically been going on. Yeah.
Nah, yo. First of all, tell everybody where they can find out, where they can find everything at.
Yeah, you can find everything on if you go to sgdot.com, you could get to everything. But if you go to everything separate, you could go to pawparade.com. You get the links to 1302 Films and Motion Music and all that too from there. So, you know what I mean?
So, and I want to let y'all know, G Dot, he edits and he films all his videos and everything all the content that you see out. He does all the, the visionary work and, behind the scenes work and all the creative directory with the clothing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so shout out to G Dot.
Shout out to you for that. Shout outs to my guy, True 2 Productions. Yo, if y'all don't get what my camera guy, he always
shout out to them.
Take y'all some cards, please.
You
know what I'm saying? No, that's my camera guy, and he in the building already. You know what I'm saying?
Salute.
Shout out to Paradise Frenchies, man. As always, Paradise Frenchies, you know I love you.
Paradise Frenchies.
Yeah, shout out to y'all, yo. Now, back to, you said y'all got a whole, wait a minute. I need you to double back because that was so much information at one time.
Yeah, it was. Let me kind of slow it up. So basically,
Please.
a lot of people know the Motion for the music. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And they don't really know
and the
that.
parties.
Yeah, the parties. That's even before the music. But we
Take
just
them back
kinda
to that.
We kinda you want to go back to there before
Take
we
them
get
back.
We
there?
can,
Yeah.
because you
That's
gotta know where you came from to
Take
get
it
you
back,
going.
Doc.
That's a fact. So yeah, before nigga was even doing any music or any of that, Motion had a rap with the parties in Harlem. Harlem, Brooklyn,
I know
Bronx,
what's up.
Queens.
Right.
That's where we kind of got our start from. Like really, you feel what I'm saying? So
Get my lighter. Booking me.
you
Just
gotta
book
watch
me.
the
This
lighter
was on the
bro.
table, y'all. Hold on.
A lot of people know about us for doing parties at Voodoo Lounge. We had our
I
own
remember
shit on
that.
77 from First Avenue.
Yo, I remember that.
And it got
That's
big
legendary.
because we started going at war with some of the big promoters. Shout out to D, shout out to Kino. We started going live at the Grand, and it was Grand versus Voodoo. You know what I'm saying? And
Yo, was that Tuesdays?
Nah,
Or Mondays?
that was
Sunday.
Sunday? I might have slid up in there, man, because I've been a lot of places.
Yeah,
Look, y'all only looked at me like, yeah, T, I know you've been a lot of places.
I'm looking, I'm like-
yeah, I might have been up in there, man. I ain't gonna hold you out.
Probably dipped up in there once or twice.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm sure of it, because that was a time where everybody was outside. Like,
Yeah.
that was a lot going on.
Yeah.
That party promoting shit really took y'all in.
That's
on
a
the
fact.
door.
and then the
You
transition.
was acting as a kid, though.
No, I was.
Yeah, and that's a little bit before. That's even before the party started.
Yep.
He was doing his thing.
Yep.
Acting and all that,
Yep.
doing his thing with the rock. Managing artists and all that. So he been in the
remember
loop
that.
with that. You feel what I'm saying?
Shout out to New York Undercover.
I was about to say, yo, you
Yeah.
took that from me. I was about to say, yo, you was on the episode of New York Undercover. Yo, you beat me to that just now.
put me on the map.
I definitely was about to say that. Like, I remember that episode.
Bro, this
And
mad
shout out to
stuff.
Peacock. Peacock just launched like mad different seasons of New York Undercover.
Oh, wow.
What is it? New York Undercover, yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? You could go check me out on Peacock right now.
That's
Shit
lit.
is
You
live.
already said, man.
That's a fact.
So let's get back into all those entities and things that you was just telling me about, because that was so much so quickly. I didn't even
Parties.
catch everything, yo. We took it back to the party, so we gotta get to what's happening right now, though, because you said so many things
Yeah.
in a short period of time.
Yeah, so basically so right now what we got going on is everything is still going on. It's just like kind of boiled up into one visual.
Okay.
So when we promoting the clothes, which is Paw Parade, we doing
Okay.
these little commercials and segments. and then and that's displaying the clothing aspect of the brands.
Okay.
And then it's also soundtracked by, you know, the music, which is the music, you feel what I'm saying? And it's also shot and edited by 1302 Films, which is the film side of the brand. So it's
y'all
those
going to
three
attack
things.
them on every level.
exactly.
I see how.
Wait, Doc, let's get a.
What?
What do you think Paul Parade means? When you hear
I don't know,
Paul
'cause I was
Parade,
just
what do you
about to
think it
ask.
means?
Yeah.
I thought about potpourri, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I was about to ask, where did you get the name from? Cause you know, it's like you over here reading my mind. You're not interviewing me. I'm interviewing y'all. You always trying to pick brains, yo.
That's what we do.
No, but anytime we go do interviews, and we do a lot of them, I kind of want to like ask the interviewer a question as well.
Okay.
So that's
that's
one of the questions that we asked, and shout out to Doc. We was just at Magic Show. We was at one of the biggest fashion outlets that you could ever think of at the Jacob Javits Center, right? And that was one of the main questions that we might ask somebody, like, when you hear Paul Parade, what do you think?
But
we
what
hear
does it
so
mean?
many different, you know what I'm saying, answers.
Well, mine I know was a unique one.
Yeah, definitely. I never
Yeah,
heard nobody say
All right, you
that.
got to give me another one.
Potpourri.
Poor Parade.
Poor Parade.
Yeah.
That's the name of the clothing line.
Poor Parade, like the poor people parade? Bro!
That's why it's
You want my honest, because y'all would be laughing if I have to take a bunch of bumps on a float.
Like the poor people?
Some bums on a float, bro. The poor parade. I'm just saying, you know, I'm not being funny, but
No, that's a fact.
I'll break it down
You
to
asking
you.
for
That's a
things
fact.
that come to my
Yeah,
mind
that's
and
a
just
fact.
snap. And I know everybody sound funny, but everybody's mind is different.
Everybody's mind is definitely different. And
So if you ain't hear that before, you heard it today.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? But could you please just tell me what it means, because I would love to know that.
Basically, like it's a whole story, but I'm gonna try to boil it up.
Now
and
you gotta
sum it up
tell
real
me,
quick.
it's a story to this?
It's a story, yeah, because it wasn't like
gotta tell
the way it was, like the way it came about. All right, so basically during the pandemic or whatever the case may be, everybody was out here, just getting this free money and doing a whole bunch of other stuff.
Baby.
I'll try to sum it up real quick. So I just seen a lot of people drinking champagne, like just Moet, just like.
Sidebar, I drink champagne and wine for years. Anybody that know me.
I was in the Paul Parade. I was drinking champagne too.
But it was basically like it just stood out to me that everybody was drinking champagne. Everybody over drinking, enjoy themselves. But I just seen an excessive amount of champagne. And then one day
Shit was sold out here.
It was.
Yo,
it
that
was,
Rich
it
was
was.
sold out, yo.
It was.
I couldn't believe. I said
Shout out to the
everybody.
Rich.
Word, Rich,
Everybody drink champagne, yo. Hold
what I'm
on.
saying, like, hold on, what's
Everybody
going on?
drink bubbly. Hold on. Can't find my drink, and I don't mess with all that. I drink the nectar. For years, since the 90s, I got pictures to prove it. Anybody that know me know I drink nothing but champagne wine. And shout out to my dude. I want to tell you something real quick.
Yeah.
To laugh about that, about drinking champagne, because
Young Hot.
what? Yes. So one day somebody called themselves buying me a bottle, but they gave me they told me to buy a bottle of Patron, and my daughter said, "What? I'm not gonna drink nothing but champagne. What are you talking about?" Like,
Type shit, word.
you gotta know. But that's crazy.
Yeah, that was like the base of it. That's what caught my attention, because during that whole time, I was down south. I took the kids down south and all that when they was going crazy up here in
Get
New
my
York.
lighter back, y'all'y.
Black keep snatching that
Give
thing.
me my
Do
shit
that
back.
thing back.
Yeah, give my
Black.
shit back. We gonna have to barge you from the bus. We got to put a thing, with the string on the bus for y'all'y. I'm sorry.
Let me get my own lighter.
Pull yours out, brother, because you keep stealing mine. I'm gonna be tight.
I got a joint for you too if you need one.
It's weird.
That's
It's
your
the
man,
same
look.
color. It's
Oh!
the same color.
You know we from
That's
Harlem.
why I keep snatching
You know we
it.
from home. Yep.
Word.
It
Alright.
feel like it's home. But please go.
But yeah, let me try to sum it up though. So that was something that caught my attention. And then one day I literally was making a post about something, and I just was like, I use damn, I always forget the word when I'm trying to say this, but words that I use the P's in all of the captions, so I'm proud that I'm not participating in the it's just mad P's, and I
And the
said
poor
Poor
people
Parade
parade.
out of nowhere, but I was really referencing the people pouring, like it was a parade of people pouring, and then it kind of stuck out to me that was like this is some poor shit because
Gotta
as soon as
raise
you get
awareness.
as soon as you get some money, but I ain't want to like reference nobody financial situation.
Because
so
I got a question. What was niggas really celebrating?
this is what I'm saying. Like that's what threw me off. I'm like, why? It's really a pandemic and the world is really on fire and this like what's the celebration?
They wasn't
like,
woke.
Exactly, and that's what just stuck out to me and all that. So instead of saying people was poor, I just summed it up to people was making poor choices.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's where the poor parade. That's how it formed and all that. Cause it's not like the poor is parading for being poor. It's like it was a bunch of poor people parading around like they rich. And that's my whole thing. Instead of acting like you rich and
the rich act like they poor.
Exactly. So that's where the poor parade come from. Exactly.
You only as poor as the decisions you decide to make in life.
That's
Agreed.
a fact. That's
Agreed.
a fact.
Agreed.
You know.
You want something? Who wanted the water? Somebody wanted the water?
Oh, yeah, we get one.
Oh.
But yeah, that's like to sum it up. That's how it came. I knew that
Makes sense.
I knew that choice of words would be like like to raise eyebrows that people would be concerned. But when they see the clothes, they'll know that clearly there ain't nothing to do with like poor. It's like it's kind of like a mind fuck basically when they read it. So they want to find out what it is. And some people could catch it. Some people be like, oh, well, it's just like you said, poor people on the float and all that. I spent a long time and me and Black just going back and forth trying to figure out how to make it make sense because it was just an idea just came out while I was writing the quote and then them two words stuck out. Like, why would I call this shit the poor parade? Because at first I was talking about the champagne. Yeah, with the champagne.
Don't make poor decisions.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yo, you know what?
Choices.
That was a different era and a different time, and people really went crazy.
Yeah, that's a fact though.
Like they really lost it. They fell and bumped their heads.
And that shit just threw me off because at that time I'm just trying to, before the pandemic, I'm just trying to, put myself in a better position,
right.
Try to, just make better life choices.
Yeah, and for the generations to come. For your family, you want to be in a better position for your family. The things that I know now, I wish I would have knew early on when I was celebrating nothing.
That's a fact. Yeah.
That came with age and wisdom, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It took time, and sometimes you get caught. I call this outside the matrix.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get caught in a matrix and you think that this is real. You think sometimes that these people love you. You gotta stick to what you know and stay true to you.
That's a fact.
That's the only way you're gonna keep going.
And we got the FICO 850.
Yeah.
Collaborative 850 to teach about financial wellness. And another reference that you said is to the float. So that the float we kind of chalked it up to the representation of the float. All right, boom. It's two people in the parade, right? It's the people in the parade and the people that's outside watching the parade.
Yeah.
And our example is like basically when you on the float, that means you just having a good time. You're not worried about nothing. You fuck the bills. You just living life. You just which is not wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to be on the float, but then when it really hits you and you like, you know what, I gotta get my shit together. I gotta take care of you. I gotta make sure my health is right. I gotta make sure my credit good. I gotta make sure my bills is paid.
Yep. I gotta make sure I got life insurance.
That's when you step off the float and you become a spectator. And that's just like our referencing, like when you see people on the float.
That's being woke.
That's a fact. You gotta get off that float sometimes. You can easily jump back on it here and there.
Yeah, you can get on the float here and there.
You gotta get off.
But you can't always live on the float because if you're on the float, you ain't accomplishing nothing.
That's a whole fact. You gotta get your ass off that.
But the float will get you stuck.
That's a fact.
Float no good.
The float will get you stuck. But
it's good for the moment.
It's good while you're there. It's fun for right there.
You gotta learn yourself. You gotta learn yourself. That's a fact.
I hope that y'all are listening and taking some notes, yo. They always think that the older ones is always talking some bullshit, but y'all don't really know, yo. Y'all don't really know what it is to survive, and when you wake up, when you get to this, when you get a little older into different ages, you will understand better. Wow. And you'll wish you did some shit. You'll wish you did it when you was younger, because there's so many things that I wish I could have did already.
That's a whole fact.
That's a fact.
If you ask me, most people thought I should have been on TV a long time ago.
Right.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. And if I told you about certain opportunities and things that happen, you would have been like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? I could have been in Crooklyn. Shout outs to my drama teacher for that one.
Shout out to him.
Hondo's in Crooklyn.
Yeah.
Shout out to
this dude I know, you know what I'm saying? Carlton, he had the glasses. Yeah. And that was a unisex part. And they wanted a girl or a boy. It didn't matter. And one of my friends passed away, and I went to my friend's service instead of doing the second interview, the second calling.
Second audition. Yeah.
And that was different. You know what I'm saying? I think it's that Lincoln Center as a kid. People don't know that. Yeah. You know, with Ruth Williams Dance Studio right here on 25th. You know, if you go back in the time, them two sisters had a dance studio on 125th in Teresa Hotel. You know?
Man, you going back.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because they were in business for a very
Don't
long
tell
time.
my age.
I'm proud of my age. I'm not
God
afraid
damn
of my
it.
age. I'm not afraid of it. People gotta get there, yo.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah,
you gotta
right,
get it.
right.
I wear that
Definitely
as a
gotta
badge of honor.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Because it don't change that I'm a lit bitch.
Definitely
That age don't
can't
change
stop
I'm a lit bitch. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different, you know? Podcasting has become my thing now.
Right.
I didn't never know I was going to podcast.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know what I
I didn't know I
mean?
was gonna do half the shit I'm doing. I
Right.
just did it, and then just progressed at it. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
You thought you was going to rap?
Never.
Okay.
Until I rapped, and then
What
I'm
made
like,
you
oh,
rap?
Sitting on this block one day and just playing around with my homies and all that. We just kept saying, "I'm a thought, give me lip."
Yo.
And then that's it.
You know
And I
that
just
song
made
was
the song.
mad funny
That's
too.
That's how
Yo.
I
Yeah, it
started.
was.
And when it come on, people really be doing the dance, just to let y'all know.
That's what's
Like
up.
I've seen people really bust out the whole dance moves and all that. I can't do it, y'all. It's kind of fast. I'm not a dancer. I got 2 left feet.
Nah, that's
So
a fact.
for me, I can't do it. But I won't lie. I've seen people really just like break out, dance, spin, everything.
Yeah, that's
Like
what's
you
up.
really take control of that. I gave you, that was a different era. You
Yeah.
gave it old Harlem. That song is like an old Harlem song.
Yeah,
Should
that's
I-
a fact. That's the
That's your
Yardley
mom.
right there with
Mm-hmm.
the you know the choreography,
Yeah.
the
I
choreography
don't know
and
what.
all of that. That
Ain't
shit
that mommy?
legendary,
Ain't that
like-
mommy favorite old school
Oh yeah,
song?
it was a remix of Womack and Womack.
Womack
Yeah,
and
that's it's a
Womack.
sample of that. You know
What?
what I mean? And that's,
Baby,
that's,
I'm scared of you.
and that's what I
Oh!
got the, you know what I'm saying? So,
And y'all talking about me. And y'all talking about
Baby, I'm scared of
me.
you.
but that's
But
how,
listen
that's
to
how
your
that
ear
done
for
was, man.
music, though.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Like music goes through generations and generations and generations.
That's a
Yo,
fact.
and one thing I love about that is like, even if he don't know how to do it, he gonna go on the computer
And
and he
figure
gonna
that
go
out.
to
Yeah,
the
that's a
shit
fact.
where it show you how to do the shit for mad long, and he gonna sit there and he gonna learn how to do the shit, and then we gonna be doing. And
You
next
have
thing you
to
know,
have
we
a-
doing this shit. That's
You
it.
have to have a different mind for that.
Like
Yeah.
You do.
whatever we doing, that's what we doing.
Yo, not for nothing, my brother's like that, yo.
Yeah.
That ass, my bro, my
True
blood
story.
brother, my mother's son.
That's
Yeah,
true.
shout outs to my brother, the barber god, man. Harlem's first mobile barber shop. My brother built
Fire.
that.
That's
Yeah, my
fire.
brother built that from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all see a lot of barbershops and shout outs to them that's mobile, but my brother was actually Harlem's first. And I
Nice.
remember seeing his business plan, and other people, you know, he didn't show it to many people, but when he showed it to me, I thought it was genius. And he really, really built a bus from the ground up
That's
Fire.
tough.
with everything in it. Like, that was crazy. Like, I was like, yo. So for your mom, but I knew he was a genius as a kid. You know
I
what I'm
always
saying?
call him a genius.
You're a genius. I was just about to say it. Like, you have to be, your
Call him a
mind have to be
genius
different for
every
that.
day.
Do you make beats?
I do, but I don't. That's not like something I frequent at.
Uh-huh.
I definitely made a couple of beats that y'all probably heard, but it ain't that wasn't something that stuck out. But I definitely did.
Okay.
He's a genius. Shout out to DJ Get On Up too.
Yes,
Like
DJ
Word
Get
up.
On Up do a lot of the production. That's my
Doc,
guy. Shout out to him.
Doc could just give him a vision and then he just
Bring
like,
it to life.
You know
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
a
saying?
fact. That's a fact.
Bring it to
Word,
life.
shout out
So,
to him.
what's new with the music as far as, because you said you were slowed up with that for a second because y'all had to close. You know what I'm saying? And you got something else. What you said?
Now the film. So it's like
Right,
so
the film.
actually nothing never really slowed up. It's just that it was just we used to just push music.
Right.
That's what everything.
Y'all just
everybody-
added other
Yeah.
entities besides the music.
Exactly, and then we
Okay.
pushed them all at one time. But I got new
Making
music.
soundtracks behind
Yeah,
that is
That's a
genius.
fact. That's a fact. I got a couple of films out there that's they
Lit.
got the movies in it. I mean the music in it.
What's the name?
The stuff. Shout out to Rob Stapleton. It's a song, a movie out right now. They got
Shout out to Rob.
yeah, Rob Stapleton. They got Melissa Ford. They got what's my man? I forget the rest of them. Murder
Right.
Mook is in there. It's a couple of people.
Shout
in
out to
there.
Murder Mook. Yo,
Yeah, shout out
Murder
to
Mook,
Mook.
I'm looking for your ass. John, don't play with me.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull him up on it. You know, John, I called you already.
Hey, yo, John.
We not gonna
what you
do this,
doing?
John. I'm gonna have to call him John because I know him. You know, when we have personal relations. Nah, I fucks with Murder Mook. That's my guy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
Shout out to Mook.
Yeah, word up. Him and T-Rex, I'm definitely looking forward to having them on the joint too, on here, because I've had quite a few people that, you know, as y'all know, been floating around. So I'm happy to have y'all though. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, I get super hyped every fucking time. Like, it's just like my own thing, like my inner self. Cause everybody is special to me.
Right.
Like, and then when you come here, it's like magic, baby.
Right.
Like, it's like magic. We have a regular conversation. It's not pressure.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
pressure,
Ain't
not
no
scripted.
Nah,
It's
we
off the
giving
energy.
them raw TV. You
That's a
heard?
fact.
Y'all hear that on the audio? For those who gonna be listening in, and they gonna see this because we
That's a
giving
fact.
visual too. But on the audio, they get the raw because you know sometimes when you're doing the visuals, you gotta clip some parts. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Anything could go wrong. The battery could die. Then you know, so some pieces be chopped. But when you get the audio, you hear the raw, uncut footage. Like
That's a
boom,
fact.
we here, we in the building. They hear us. You know, we got an audience out there. There's people listening, but I'm listening. I'm hoping for more people, man, all over the world, because we on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like anything you could think of, like Spotify. If you go to our Instagram page, Busamove the podcast,
Yeah.
okay, you will see every outlet that we on. You know what I'm saying? Like we trying to make some moves out here, me and Bob.
Y'all
y'all making moves.
Yeah, I would say. I would say we busting moves
Yeah,
through
y'all
Harlem.
busting-
busting
You know,
moves.
we got quite a few. I call it. They come on the bus to kick it with us.
Right.
You know, I got a lot. They come on the bus, they kick it with us. You know, we about to have our Busamove the podcast T-shirts. Y'all look out for that because it's gonna be on the website.
This is a nice platform, though. I like this. I appreciate you
Definitely,
for
definitely.
making this shit
Thank
happen.
you, man. This Harlem's first, right?
Right.
You know, we like to show our ass sometimes. You
Yeah,
know,
that's fact, that's a
sometimes,
fact.
but we are innovators.
Yo, and you know the funny shit? You know, that is like the cool, calm, and like the, you know what I'm saying? I'm the loud one.
Mhm.
But you know, shout out to Tiana Taylor. You know, he did some shit
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
with Tiana Taylor with that movie. You know, he got some good credits
Shout out
with
to
that.
her.
I think one of the
she
actors. What
definitely
you rather
from
do?
Harlem.
One of the actors.
With my man Will, he played the character Lucky in that 1001. There's a new film that just came out, directed
Yes.
by A.B. Rockwell.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Shout out to AV.
Yeah, shout out to A.B. You know what I
Yo,
mean?
and shout out to Tiana Taylor because she's
Yeah.
definitely from Harlem.
That's a fact. Shout out to Tiana.
You know
for
what I'm
sure,
saying? That's
for
one of my
sure.
sister friends. So, you know, if we speak some things into existence, maybe one day we can have Tiana kick it on the bus with us.
Yeah, that shouldn't be hard.
You
that
know,
shouldn't be hard at all.
I think Harlem stick together. You know, so
Definitely.
when you hear the movement and you hear what somebody doing and you know what I'm saying? I ain't asking for a lot of time. I'm asking just for a small amount of time.
It's a fact.
You know,
That's a fact.
and I'm going to be on time. We ain't going to waste nobody time.
Yeah, we're gonna be punctual.
Yeah, we
we
gonna be professional, you know, at all times.
Wow.
Even though we smoke on this joint. But that's our thing.
That's a fact. Look out for the clothing. Look out for the music.
Yeah,
We
man.
here to stay. We
Y'all
not
tell them
going
where they can
nowhere.
find everything at. Y'all got your own website?
Yeah, we got our own website. We got everything. Like you can find if you can find me, you can find everything. If you can find him, you can find everything. If you can find SG.com.
That's it.
Go to porparade.com. You follow me on Instagram at
Right.
ITSGDOTT is G dot.
Follow me, Yali Black, on everything, Twitter, everything you want to think of.
Yeah,
Yalito on Snapchat.
And the
They
link to-
working on
the
Google.
links
You
in the
heard you
bio
can
gonna
even
take
Google
it.
them.
Yeah, Google is gonna pop right up. You heard?
Everything gonna pop up on there, yo.
That's
So
a fact.
I just again I wanna thank y'all for pulling up on the bus.
Thank you for having us for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
man. Like this is special. I always feel like you know, everybody that come here, most of the people that come here is from Harlem. But I extend a hand to others. You
Right.
know?
As you should.
Yeah, like I ain't selfish with it. I think that because we mobile, you know, we try to move around,
That's
make
a
some
fact.
shit happen. But I ain't gonna hold y'all up, you know. This was short and sweet.
That's
You know?
right to the point.
Yeah, right to the point, yo.
That's
But
a fact.
I hope to have y'all back on here again.
Hell
You
yeah.
Definitely.
know, y'all
Let
gotta
us know,
come
let
back.
us know, huh?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all heard what they said, where they find everything at, yo. Y'all better go there and check everything out. You
Word.
heard what I said?
Check it out.
Now don't be playing around, yo. So we gonna head on out on this episode of Busamove the motherfucking podcast. You heard? Peace.
That was love.
What you gonna inspire others to do?
That's a fact.
That I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? People are walking inspiration.
Yeah, let's talk that shit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you take criticism because you know what I'm saying. They love you this week and next week they won't love you no more. So.